Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first ever YouTube video, so do cut me some slack. I'm Anuksha, I'm 21 years old. I'm a home baker. I put out a lot of recipes on my Instagram. The link is in the description, so do check it out. In today's video, we'll be learning how to make Halloween treats and desserts from scratch. So I really hope you guys like it, and let's get started. To start with the Halloween desserts, let's begin with the glass shard red velvet cupcakes. To make the red velvet cupcakes, let's start by taking a glass of milk, which is about 185 grams, and then we are going to add half the lemon juice to this. We're going to mix this together and keep it aside for about 5 minutes. So while the milk and the lemon juice are resting, let's take melted butter in a bowl. Next, it's time for the sugar. I've taken brown sugar over here, but you can take castor sugar, granulated sugar, whichever is available to you. Now let's add it with the butter and give it a good whisk. Now that the milk has been resting for 5 minutes, we will be adding it to the butter and sugar mixture. The milk will look a little curdled, and that's the mixture that we are going for because the lemon has reacted with the milk. And now we're going to add it to this. Now the milk and the butter are obviously not going to mix well together and it will look a little weird. The mixture is going to look a little weird, but that's completely okay. And now once it's sort of mixed, we will add all the dry ingredients. So we'll be sifting all the ingredients into the batter. We'll keep the sift. We'll add the Maida first, the flour, and then we will add the cocoa powder. Next, we'll add the baking powder and the salt. We'll sift the ingredients into the batter. I'm using a spatula to make this process a little easier and not make it very messy. We just want it all combined together. Now when they're just getting combined together, that's when you stop whisking and then take the red food color that you have and add it. I'm adding about 2 to 3 drops. And now mix these together again. Make sure you're combining all of these together and you're not leaving anything behind. But also remember not to overmix the batter. And our batter for red velvet cupcakes are ready. This is a pure eggless red velvet cupcake and they're very moist. They come out really tasty. So do give it a try. And they're very easy to make with basic ingredients that are available at home. Before we put these liners in the cupcake tray, preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius. These are cute little cupcake liners that I've got here, and you can place them in the tray. I've taken a mug and I've taken a piping bag, which I'll place it inside this mug and pour the batter into the piping bag. We'll keep this aside and take the piping bag. And now we'll start piping them into the cupcake liners. This is just so that we have control of how much of the batter is going in the cupcake liners. So just about 3 3/4 of the cupcake liner. That's what we want. Once we have piped the batter into the cupcake liners, let's put these in the oven, which has been preheating at 180 degrees Celsius. This will go in the oven for about 20 minutes or until toothpick inserted comes out clean. So while the cupcakes are baking, let's make some whipping cream. I've taken about 1 cup of whipping cream over here and I have poured it into this bowl. It is chilled. Make sure and remember to keep the whipping cream chilled, otherwise it will be very hard to get the stiff peaks. So once it's done, you will see that it will form stiff peaks, and when you tip it over, it doesn't fall. Now let's keep this aside. Now take a piping bag and take your nozzle. I've taken this nozzle over here. It's a star nozzle. You can take any nozzle that you like or which you like to pipe over the cupcake. And place this piping bag just to make it easier. Piping bag with the whipping cream, which is ready. So we'll keep this aside. So now let's learn how to make the glass shards. So before we make the glass shards, let's take a baking tray lined with baking paper and keep it aside of course. And I've taken some isomalt over here. This is about 150 grams of isomalt that I've taken, and I'm going to pour it into the pan and I'm going to let this melt. Keep stirring this. This is going to clump together before, so make sure you're stirring this continuously and don't let it stick to the bottom. So just keep stirring it. It will form lumps and that's how it's going to melt eventually. This is how they look right about now. So you keep stirring until it melts. Make sure you're constantly stirring this, otherwise it can stick to the pan, it can get burnt easily, so be very careful. When it forms a transparent liquid, that's when you know it's all done. Now as you see, it has clumped together, but there's also like transparent liquid on the bottom. So keep mixing. You'll see a transparent liquid forming. So once it has formed the liquid, we will take it off heat. We will keep the baking tray here. You have to work quickly over here so that it doesn't start sticking to the pan. And we pour it all over the tray, spreading it a little bit, not too much, because we still want it a little thick. So this is how it looks. So we'll let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. The cupcakes are out of the oven and I've let them cool down a little bit. So now I'm going to take it off the tray. Now I'm going to pipe this whipping cream on the cupcake. Now that we're done with piping the whipping cream on the cupcakes, we've kept them aside, and next we'll move on to making the fake blood. My secret ingredient for the fake blood is ruafza. I know it's very unconventional to be using something like this, but trust me, this has the right texture, it has the right form for blood, and all you have to do is pour this in a bowl. And now if you think this mixture is not red enough for you and it looks a little pink, that's okay. We will be adding 2 drops of red food coloring into this. Now look at the color. Now that this has set completely, we will take a steel glass. I've taken a steel glass here. You can take anything that you think is strong enough to break these into shards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit this with the glass. We're going to take the roux mixture. We're going to dip it first. Okay, dip it in the roux mixture and then place this on the cupcake. Okay, and now I'm going to just drip the blood. As well. These look really amazing and they look very weird. Now that we're done with making the red velvet glass shards cupcake, let's move on to making a brain cupcake. This is also super easy to make. You can choose any cupcake you like, a red velvet, a chocolate cupcake, anything you want. We just need the whipping cream and the roux mixture that we made earlier. So let's start. So we take the whipping cream and we take the red food coloring and we add 2 drops. Once it comes to this beautiful pink color, we'll stop mixing it and do not add more food coloring because it's not really required, and keep it aside. I've taken 2 plain cupcakes without the whipping cream on it and I've filled the piping bag with the pink whipping cream. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe the whipping cream on top of the cupcake like that. Just to create a dome sort of a thing, take an offset spatula and smoothen it out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create the brain shape on the dome that we created on the cupcake. So basically you take this and then you pipe you basically create this dome shape on it. Is we will add the roux mixture on top of it. Now that we are done with the brain cupcakes and the glass shard velvet cupcakes, let's move on to the next one, which is the ghost cupcake. Let's begin by taking some white chocolate in a bowl. Melt this in the oven with 30 seconds interval, or you can use the double boiling method as well. By taking these 2 whipping cream cupcakes, we're going to place this over here on the tray. And now in a bowl, I've taken some Oreo biscuits which I've crushed together with the cream as well. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle, to make this ghost cupcakes even more spooky. Let's use this Oreo biscuits and sprinkle it all over. Shake off the excess that is there. Take the white chocolate and drops it on the baking paper and swipe down. To take a toothpick and draw small little hands for it. Bit of blue to the pink color. This purple. Take a piping second bag and put the purple whipping cream in it. Once the tip has been cut, I've taken a star nozzle but a tinier one, and now I'm going to pipe it on the cupcakes. Just tiny bits of them. Take one more. Do the same thing. And keep this aside. Cut the bigger circle in the black fondant. Okay, keep it here. Then take a smaller one and cut it in the white fondant. Place this on top of each other. And then again cut a tiny circle in the black fondant. Place it on top of it. So it goes black, white and black. Just like that. So make another one. Take the two cupcakes that you made earlier and place them on each other. To make them even better, I'm going to show you how to make the witch hat. So let's take the black fondant again and cut and now take the corner of it and roll it into place. Then since this is too long, I'm going to cut it. And your witch hat is ready. The Halloween cupcakes are now ready. If you like the video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching my video.